All right, good morning to everyone. Appreciate you being here this morning. If not, later when you joined at your convenience. We're going to be looking at Ephesians chapter 4, verse 28. This is going to be our fourth in the kind of mini-series that we've been doing, expanding on from Sunday's message about putting away, and those 11 things, actually 13 that were in the list, but 11 that we need to put away from us. Verse 28, we're getting to a little bit more actions, getting to an action that maybe you once did, but you should not do anymore. So just jumping into this here in Ephesians chapter 4, verse 28 says, let him that stole steal no more, but rather let him labor, working with his hands the thing which is good, that he may have to give to him that needeth. So first of all, the putting off, again, that's something that we do. We make a realization. We come to the realization that we need God. We come to God. God puts on us the new man. He creates in us that new creature. He quickens our dead spirit. And now we are to come back to square one, in which it is now back in our hands, not our salvation. That's done. That's sealed, taken care of. But now, what do we do now that we are saved? So this here, number 4, being this Thursday and everything, is we are going to stop something that we should not have been doing before. It's one of the commandments: "Thou shalt not steal." But the implication here is that people were, and it's an interesting choice of words that are used here. It's not stealing out of necessity. They're hungry, or they're cold, or they need something to shelter or something along those lines. This is the pilfering, or the filching is the word actually that's used, an English word, a word that we don't really use a lot anymore. And it's the stealing of things that are insignificant, the stealing of things that don't really matter, the things that are not important. So let him that stole steal no more. These might be goods. These might be things that are not necessity for life, but the fact that they are doing it says, let them steal no more, and then gives them the alternative to this. Now, this is something that it should not be controversial, but in this day and age, this idea of work is. As a high school teacher, I see this every day, and try to make others understand that if it's worth it, if it's worth having, then it's worth working for, or nothing worth anything comes easy. And this isn't a matter of working as far as out of necessity, but a choice. Just the same here as let him that stole steal no more, but rather let him labor. Instead of choosing to steal, now labor. And that word labor that we see here in verse number 28 is going to mean not just work, but hard work. And look what it gives another indication here. Working with his hands the things which is good. Of course, in the Bible, the word good is always associated with God or with godly. The rich young ruler, when he called the Lord good master, he said, why callest thou me good? There's none good but God. So it is a good thing for a person to work hard, or to have hard work and enjoy the fruits of those labors of that. Solomon said this in Ecclesiastes. And it's not something to be to feel guilty about. It's not something that we need to have to let society dictate us to that we're working too hard or something along those lines. I think there is, again, that balance that we ought to have. But this is not for the purpose of right word here, taking something that is we were stealing to have. Now we are working for that which we want. That desire, that want for that thing is there, but now we are working. And look at this. There's a benefit that comes along with this, and this is what's missed out when we don't work. And this is something that'll help keep us. God has given you certain talents, certain abilities, certain things that you can do. And it doesn't necessarily always translate into money. It may be a service that you can provide, or maybe it's a counsel that you can be, whatever it may be. But this hard work that we do, we take in, and the fruits of that labor are, yeah, we take those in for ourselves. I have no problem with people having nice things and those types of things. If you've worked for them, that's the fruit of your labor. I'm not going to be jealous of you for having that. I'm not going to be jealous of somebody that has more than me. And that, if I want that, then I need to work for that. But what's going on here is the fact that it's not just that you're stealing, that the person stole and they told to steal no more, but rather work hard with your own hands, do your work, do what that is, whatever capacity that is. It may be leadership, it may be you are the grunt. Sometimes I feel like I'm the first line there at the school where I teach and those types of things, but that's the place that I have chosen to be, where I feel like I am most needed and I serve the best purpose. Could I do other things? Absolutely. But looking here at this, he says, but look at this. The reason that you work hard and enjoy the fruits of those labors says, now look here, that he may give to him that needeth. So it's about being able to help others. That's why God gives you that ability. That's why God gives you that talent. That's why he gives you, it's not for you to hoard everything, but it's to be able to help others. Now, this isn't just simply, the Bible is plain in 2 Thessalonians chapter 3, where it says, if a man does not work, neither should he eat. We're not talking about a scenario here where we have become so hardline to where we're not willing to help our fellow man when they are in need. Matter of fact, the Bible is pretty clear in portions of Scripture that we are, if a man doesn't take care of his own family, that he's worse than an infidel. Of course, that's the family unit. But when we look at the brotherly unit or the family unit within the church that we have, we're to take care of those needs as well, but not just within the church, but also outside the needs. The Lord, if you go and look at the ministry that he had when he was here on this earth, go and look. He didn't just stand up and say, okay, I need all y'all to sit down. I'm going to preach down and give you the word of God. He looked and he saw, when he fed those masses that day, he looked and saw that they had no shepherd. They were all gathered there to hear something, and they were going to hear, and he was going to bring them the bread of life, but they also needed to have that spiritual bread of life, but they also needed to have that physical bread of life. They were hungry. It's kind of hard to tell somebody about the gospel or wanting them to listen to, or whatever it may be, if they are hungry. And I take this to the animal world here. I've got a little dog, and I'm telling you right now, if she is hungry, it doesn't matter what you want her to do. Nothing is going to happen until that hunger is satiated, or at least given something to eat. And you think about this, the little baby that we have. That a mother has, that baby is hungry. You can try to console that baby. You can try to get it to stop crying. But until that baby eats, that baby's going to let that mama know. It's the only way it has to communicate, I am hungry. And so while we have the ability to work, to be able to use these talents, work with our hands. One of the best things that I love that I have at my house, and during this time, my goodness, I think it's supposed to be like 96 degrees here today. It's getting hot, getting humid. I've got to mow my yard this afternoon. I'm going to wait until it cools off just a little bit, maybe 92, good grief. But when I get done, one of the things I enjoy doing, and my wife knows this, even my dog knows this, I like to, when I get finished looking over my yard there that I have mowed, I sit down on my porch with a nice glass of cool water, and she says, what are you doing? I said, I am enjoying the fruits of my labor, looking out over and seeing that nice grass cut, nice clean lines, those type of things, and everything else along those lines, and everything. There is nothing wrong with that. The Bible teaches us plainly, as I said already in Ecclesiastes, go through and read that book. Solomon has a lot to say. Yeah, there's some spiritual things in there, but there's also some things for this side of the world that you enjoy the labor, because you're not just doing this with no gain or anything, or nothing to get that, or nothing to just the monotony of it. There is a purpose behind it, that we might be able to give to him that is needed. What does the Bible say about a Christian who won't give to his brother in need? That's how one of the ways that we show our brotherly love. Not only that we love one another, that we are saved, but that we take care of one another. We look after one another. Now, I'm going to be honest with you here. I'm not going to go around and say, hey, everybody, I need this amount of money because I want this thing, and it's an extra thing. It's something that I don't necessarily need for life. If I want that, I'm going to do what I need to do do to be able to get that, or maybe it's not for me to have it, whatever it may be. So do not don't let this world or this world system or anybody say to you, you can't enjoy the fruits of your labor. Enjoy them, but also know that God has given you that ability to labor, to work hard, so that you may give to him that needeth. Perhaps they're down. Maybe they're going through a dark time, rough time. We all have been there. We all have been in places of need, and somebody has reached down to help us. That's where we return that favor as well, or that gift, if you will, as well. Don't need to repay back the action of it. Just be appreciative of it. Be thankful that someone has seen that you had a need and they came to meet it. All right, Lord willing, we'll see you tomorrow. We're going to jump into verse 29, let no corrupt communication. May have to spend a little bit more time there, but hopefully you have a good rest of your day, and we will see you then.